Good evening. Good evening. Dear Toastmasters and guests, I am Saish, Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting, and I welcome you for the 317th meeting of Agnal Toastmasters Club. I request you to stand up for the club's mission statement. The club's mission: to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Please be seated. Hygiene instructions: please put your phones on silent. Please do not disturb the speaker by talking while a speech is in progress. Do not move in and out of the meeting room while a speech is in progress. If you want to move out, then please do so when a speech is over. If you are outside, then enter the room only when you hear an applause. Drinking water is right here, also in front of the lift. Gents washroom is in front of the lift, and ladies washroom at the end of the right side, as in the, if you take the right side, you know. Thank you. I would like to invite President of Agnal Toastmasters Club, Meenakshi.
Good evening. Any guests here? Yes. I just want to know, how did you come to know about, you introduce yourself, what do you do, and how did you come to know about Agnal? Excellent. We have many Morningstar people in our club. So yes. Okay. Welcome. Anybody else? No. Okay. That was short and sweet. Okay. So I want to share something that I'm going through personally right now. It is very frustrating because it's very negative. They are laughing at my misery. I have started noticing something that I am very frustrated with things. Too many negative things going on. It's just that I have been very cluttered. My room is cluttered because there's some kind of renovation happening. Bags, I'm living out of suitcases, basically sitting in the house itself. How many of you have heard of this person called Marie Kondo? Okay, would you like to share what? Yeah. Yes. You stole half my speech, but okay. Exactly. So she's a person who believes in minimalism. She's a Japanese person. She's just 30 years old and she's very young. And at this such a young age, she says just two things. First thing is that if something you have not used in the last 6 months, then just get it out. They're laughing. I don't know why. And what Libby said is that if something doesn't spark joy, then just throw it out. So we all have in our houses things that we do not use. It's just there, clothes and clothes, like piles and piles of clothes, like jeans or some clothes that you have kept. I'll reduce weight and then I'll get into that pair of jeans. So I have felt that this is very important for a clutter-free mind. It's very important to have a clutter-free space. And that's what we believe here also at Agnal Toastmasters. And that's why it's very important for us to clean our bag as well, because and the cupboard, yeah. So that was my takeaway from today's my presiding officer. I would like to call upon the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Dharmesh.
Hello everyone. So what is the theme for today? Get out of your comfort zone. What is comfort zone? What is comfort zone? Yeah. So yeah. So comfort zone, as per the definition, it means that it is a psychological state in which things feel familiar to a person. You are at ease and in control of your environment, and most importantly, you are not stressed. You go to your office, you meet your friends, you go to your favorite restaurant, and then have your favorite food. All this is within your comfort zone. Now let us look at a zone which is completely opposite of the comfort zone. This zone is called the zone of destructive anxiety, or simply the panic zone. In this zone, you have too much stresses, you have too many problems, and you are not able to focus on things, and your performance drops. So my question to you is whether you would like to, if you want to perform better, whether you would like to be in the comfort zone or in the panic zone. Yeah, it's correct. In fact, we will be neither in the comfort zone nor in the panic zone. It is the zone in between the comfort zone and the panic zone. And this zone is called zone of optimal performance. In this zone, there will be some stress, but at the same time, if you put in some effort, you will get success and you will get the goals that you want to reach. Now, I would like to share my personal experience of how I went out of my comfort zone. This was in the year 2018. My company was working with a Chinese vendor, and there were a lot of issues with this vendor, and we were not able to communicate with them, and there were a lot of issues. We are not able to clear our drawings which we wanted to clear. So my company requested me to go to China and resolve the issues. Has anybody gone to China before? So I'm sure you will be able to relate with my stories that I share. And for others, you will definitely get some tips of visiting China. So there are three major challenges in going to China. First one is the extreme cold weather, because I was going in the month of December. Second one is the language, as I was not able to speak Chinese, and most of the people there do not speak English. And last one, how many of you here are vegetarians, pure vegetarians? So I can understand what your feeling is. People in China can eat almost anything that moves, and I'm a pure vegetarian. So these were the three challenges that I was going to face. So whether I went to China or not, that I will take it up later. Before that, let us start the meeting today. Our meeting is generally divided into three parts. First part is the prepared speech section, where people come with the prepared speeches and they give their speeches. Second is normally table topics, but today we do not have table topics, and we have speech marathon. So we have around 6 speeches. And lastly, we have the evaluation section, where we have the complete evaluation of the speakers, the role players, and other members. So now we'll quickly move on to the first role player. I will introduce the tag team members. This particular role player, he attended 10-day Vipassana meditation course in Igatpuri, and this was completely out of his comfort zone. But this helped him a lot to learn many things about him, like patience and resilience, and staying away from mobile in complete silence was the biggest challenge he faced. So let me welcome Toastmaster Rohidas, who is the grammarian for today. Welcome, Toastmaster Rohit. You can sit here. You can wear this. And you can explain your goals.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Today, my role would be as a grammarian over here, and my responsibility would be to listen to everything that would be said during the meeting and note and report any particular effective uses of grammar or any grammatically incorrect speech that has been used during the entire speech. And as a grammarian, it is also my task to present you all the word of the day. We have the word of the day, impel. It is spelled as I-M-P-E-L. I'll just share the meaning of the word. It means a drive, force, or an urge to do something. I'll share two examples for this particular word of the day. First is, she felt impelled to give a speech after a performance. And the second is, financial difficulties impelled him to desperate measures. And secondly, we have phrase of the day. The phrase of the day is bite the bullet. This phrase means that to adjust to an unpleasant circumstance. Examples are, the first example is, this severe drought is forcing everybody to bite the bullet and use less water. And the second example we have, the kids decided to bite the bullet and clean their room so they could go to the park. So whenever we use this word of the day or the phrase of the day, everyone would do thumbs up for you. And I'll give a word of the day report and grammatical usage report when called upon. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Well, I would like to tell you one more thing. That before and after So I hope everybody settled down. We can start. So I request all the new members are there. So I will let you know that everybody, when you come on the stage, you need to shake hands with us. Then again, while leaving also, you need to shake hands with me. Moving on, I will talk about the next role player. She did snorkeling in the middle of the ocean during her Bali trip, and this was out of her comfort zone because she is scared of water. But at the same time, she enjoyed a lot in the peaceful ocean. Let me welcome you, our timer for today, Toastmaster Navi. Today is your first time as a timer, so request you to do. You can explain your.
बीता वक्त है, खर्च हम होते हैं, तो क्यों ना इस वक्त का एक अच्छा इस्तेमाल किया जाए. So for today's meeting, there are a few rules for timing so that we can have a good break for samosa and reach home in time. So everybody has their speeches, and there is a time range given to those. So if the time range, for example, is 4 to 6 minutes, at the minimum range, that is on the completion of 4th minute, I'll show a green card. And on the completion of 5th minute, that is the middle of the time range, I'll show the yellow card. And on the completion of the time, that is 6 minutes, I'll show the red card. And after red card is shown, you have 30 seconds as grace time, which can be used to complete your speech. Thank you.
Now I'll speak about our next role player. He has the habit of binge watching, but recently he decided to go out of his comfort zone and reduce his binge watching. And this has helped to him to focus on some worthy things like joining Toastmasters. Let me welcome Toastmaster Wasim, who is the art counter for today. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. So today I'm going to your counter over here. So basically, I'm not going to be limited to counter over here. So the list of the words which I'm going to say, you have to make sure that it is going to be least pronounced, and well, you have to take a short pause. So the list of the words are and, well, but, so, you, no, as well as there are others or whatever. This kind of word has to be what I can say use as low as you can. Yeah, that's it.
Toastmaster Wasim, I would like to tell you that I was told in the last meeting that my favorite word is so. So I would like to speak it again and again because it feels bad. So please ignore at least till 50 times. After that, only start counting. Now I'll continue with my China trip journey. So because the job was very important to my company, I thought that I will go to China and resolve the issue. And on the way to China, I thought to myself, if I have some problems, I will start saying, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, to motivate myself. And there I was in China. And luckily, I got a business trip from the client because they were very generous. I was very happy. I started walking towards the airport, towards the parking. I started saying, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. I'm not fine, I am shivering. I ran towards my car and got inside. Now, I had never faced this cold climate in my entire life. You go to your refrigerator and then open the freezer. It is cold, right? Now, just imagine you need to be in a place which is as cold as the freezer and not just stay there but work there for 15 days. Now, that is difficult, right? I thought I will not be able to serve a few days in China. The next day, I put on my vest, then my sweater, then my shirt, then one more sweater, one more jacket, thermal pants, regular pants, hand gloves, woolen cap, one sock, second woolen sock. Basically, I wore all the woolen clothes that I brought from India. I went outside to see how I was feeling. It was a bit cold, but bearable. I am fine. Now we'll move to our speeches section. Before that, I would like to tell you a few things about the speeches. Today we have 6 speeches and 7 evaluators. So the evaluators I'll be calling the evaluators first, and they will be explaining the speech objective of the speakers, and after that we'll have the speaker. And one more thing is that once we have one icebreaker speech, that is of Toastmasters Feta, and we have practice that after the icebreaker speech is completed, because it is the first speech of the speaker, we all stand up and give her a big standing ovation to motivate her. So I request you to do it once after she completes her speech. Now I would like to call upon our the evaluator of evaluator. Before that, let me talk something about her. Generally, we see that if this person is not there in the meeting, then we miss her and we are out of the comfort zone because we do not get good photos. So let me welcome one person who is the VP Public Relation of our ExCom. Please welcome Toastmaster Sakshi. Please explain the objectives of the evaluation.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, as well as guests. So today I'll be evaluating evaluator 1, who will be evaluating our speaker 1. So the purpose of the project is to develop skills for delivering and receiving feedback. And the purpose is to deliver constructive feedback on another member's presentation. So overall, we'll be having, I will be giving, evaluating the evaluator 1 on their evaluation. So yes, I wish you all the best. Looking forward to your evaluation. And over to you.
So now let me talk about our evaluator. Our evaluator, he took the decision of moving from Delhi, where he had stayed almost for 10 years, to Chennai. And it was out of his comfort zone. He left Chennai after 1.5 years. So I count it was, he regretted that decision. So let me call upon evaluator 1, that is Toastmaster Rajiv.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day and fellow guests. My target speaker is Toastmaster Sweta, who is attempting icebreaker speech from Pathway Presentation Mastery Level 1. The purpose of the project is to introduce yourself to the team club members. Title of the speech is Love City to Dream City. Thank you.
Now let me talk about our speaker 1. She moved out of her comfort zone and joined Toastmasters and enjoys a lot in the Toastmasters club. But at the same time, she regrets why did she not join earlier. So I definitely resonate with your feeling. I welcome Toastmaster Sweta. Welcome Toastmaster Sweta. Toastmaster Sweta. Love City to Dream City. Love City to Dream City. Toastmaster Sweta.
Life is a journey with problems to solve and lessons to learn, but most of all, experiences to enjoy. Hello, everyone. My life is a journey from city of love to city of dreams. Does anyone of you know which city is known as city of love in India? Any guesses? That city of love is known as Dehradun. So I was born in a North Indian joint family in Dehradun. I was a middle child, hanging somewhere on the bridge with 2 siblings at extreme ends. I was the naughtiest and was considered as astute among my brother and sister. I have done many mischievous things in my childhood. I would like to share some of them with you. How many of you like to only bat while playing cricket? So I was the one who liked to play cricket with my brother and cousin, but only till the time I was allowed batting. I love to pluck mangoes from the neighbor's tree till the old auntie come outside with a stick in her hand. I always used to hide and my brother got caught every time. I enjoy flying kites, that too which I have robbed from someone by standing on the top of the roof edge. Coming to my hobbies, I was very fond of dancing. So I used to put on that cassette player and used to dance alone on songs like Tip Tip Barsa Pani and तू चीज बड़ी है मस्त मस्त तू चीज बड़ी है मस्त. As a person, I was slightly extrovert if I compared myself with my brother and sister at home. However, in the outside world, I was introvert and does not like to start conversation with unknown people. I completed my graduation and finally got the campus selection in the 70th company. That was the last company that visited the college. This has made me learn that we must accept finite disappointment, but should never lose infinite hope. This was the first time I was going to stay away from home. There was a mixed feeling of ecstasy and despair. How many of you here have faced the recession of year 2008? I had a job which initially had a probation of 6 months. All was going fine. Then suddenly recession hit. Company asked us to leave or to continue without salary till indefinite period. Ultimately, I had to bite the bullet and have to choose second option, that is no salary. This is the worst feeling wherein you have a job in your hand and still you have to ask your parents to give money. Post 2 years after gaining some professional experience, I felt impelled to switch, find a new job. I switched to another company and finally became independent. This has made me learn that if opportunity does not knock, build a door. Now comes the life turning event, marriage. How many of you here got married as per the horoscope? So at my home, horoscope was given the most priority. I was Manglik and it was hardest to find a match for a Manglik person like me. However, after meeting few perspectives, I realized that the viewpoint and perspective of two persons should match. And finally, my search ended up in the city of dreams, Mumbai. Later, in year 2020, I got blessed with a baby boy. Though my husband desperately wanted a girl. I think husbands know how mischievous sons can be. After settling here for a while, I looked for a job and finally got one in Morningstar Vashi. With growth comes new responsibility. And there comes a chance in your life wherein you need to give presentation in front of large audience. And that time of life brings goosebumps to a shy introvert person like me. So the search began for a Toastmaster. I earlier had attended 2 sessions as a guest, but could not decide to join Toastmasters because of my fear. And look today, here I am, giving my icebreaker speech in front of you all, hoping that my dreams will also come true in this city of dreams. Friends, shifting to entire new city, managing new job, new relationship, in-laws, everything was quite a roller coaster ride for me. Me, being a career-oriented person, slowly realized that things will not come to me on its own. I need to make my path by taking a step forward. No one is going to hand me success. I need to go out and get it myself. So I am here. So am I here, though, to dominate, to conquer both the world and myself. So in the end, I would say, try and fail, but don't fail to try. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Well, when I was a child, I was a twin sister, and she also used to come and play cricket with us. First, do the batting and then leave away. So I know what the feeling was with the boys. We'll move to the next evaluator. This evaluator, she gave up street food and hotel food for around 21 days for her yoga exam. And she definitely did not enjoy it because she was missing her food but at the same time, it gave her better results at physical and mental level. So please welcome Toastmaster Amrita.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests. I will be evaluating the speech given by Toastmaster Mahima. And please note, Toastmaster Mahima is giving level 1, project 2 from Pathway Leadership Development. The purpose of this speech is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Please note, time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best, Toastmaster Mahima. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Before I call upon the speaker, I would like to say that Toastmaster Sakshi has distributed some chits. So I request each one of you that fill the chits forms for the speaker and give it to the speaker in the break time so that they can get some feedback, positive feedback, whatever you want to say, you can share it with them. I got this feedback when I gave my first speech in this club, and it was definitely useful. So please do fill up the forms. We'll move on to the next, the speaker. This speaker went out of her comfort zone and joined the sports club, and this helped her to gain confidence and also build new connections. So I welcome Toastmaster Mahima. Toastmaster Mahima. Toastmaster Mahima, the significance of networking, Toastmaster Mahima.
Thank you. There is a famous saying, your network is your net worth. This simple statement captures the essence of value that networking brings to our lives. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I'm going to discuss a topic that has become part of our life. In this interconnected world, the power of networking has risen to new heights and become an essential tool for success. Before I share my point of view, I would like to know anyone from the audience who can say what they think about networking or an importance of networking. Anyone? Anything else? Yeah, that's great insight. Thank you. To add on, networking expands our knowledge and brings us a new perspective. When we connect with individuals from different backgrounds or industry or domains, we got new insights, innovative ideas, and alternative perspectives. Sorry. Yeah. So there is a famous thing about it. How many times have you heard someone say, it's not what you know, but who you know? Who you know. Building a connection have a significant impact in our personal and professional life. Even though knowledge and skills are undoubtedly important. Let me share an instance with you where my network helped me to reach where I am today. It was a time when I was in Mumbai and started a job in a startup. A few months into my tenure, some unfortunate circumstances leads to the company closure due to loss of a major client. As a newcomer to Mumbai, I was not ready for such setback. Despite my relentless job search efforts, I couldn't find the desired job profile. At that moment, I just realized a chance encounter can change everything. I ran into a former senior colleague of mine with whom I haven't been touched for a long while. I explained my whole situation to him, and he connected to me with one of his clients in Europe. I explained my skills and knowledge to them. To my delight, I got a call from them the following week and joined their team. This unexpected opportunity don't only allow me to stay in Mumbai, but also give me chance to explore and live the independent life. In this, I'm so grateful for the power of networking that has given me chance to grow more and learn more. Now, I would like to share this story of mine has a great example to showcase how power of networking is. Sorry. This now I would like to share some of the pointers that I have learned from my own life experiences. First, actively involved in networking. It is not important that how important it is now. It will save your life one day. Secondly, don't build your network, build a meaningful network instead of just mingle for sake of it. Be patient, seek for a meaningful connection, and seek for a genuine connection you can connect with. Third and last, build a network. If you find it difficult to find a source of a build a network or communicating with people, seek for a place that can help you out. For instance, I find Toastmasters to a great start for me to build my network. Now, at last, I would say I have heard this quote a few weeks ago, and I would like to share with you all. Great things never come from a comfort zone. Step out, connect, and build your horizon. Thank you.
Before we feedback forms, do you want to share with us? I would request Toastmasters Sakshi to come up and say something she wants to say. Okay. So I would like to say a few things before we go to the next speaker. First one is that we are growing and definitely we need to go to the bigger place. So maybe you can think of having a bigger place. Second thing is that when somebody is coming, somebody is speaking, I request everybody to stay calm, and after the speaker goes, I request you to move or do any activity. So we'll move on to the next evaluator. Next evaluator is Toastmaster Ruchi, and I told her to tell me what she did out of her comfort zone. She told me that she had not done anything which is out of her comfort zone. So I would request you to try something out of your comfort zone in the future. You can explain the objective of the speaker.
Good afternoon, dear Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Deepak, where are you? Okay. Toastmaster Deepak is attempting level 1, project 2 from Pathways guides innovative planning. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and present a well-organized speech on any topic. The time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Deepak.
So let me say something about our speaker. Our speaker is fear of heights, and because of that, to overcome that, he went on a trip to Malvan and did paragliding. And initially he got a lot of fear, but as soon as he reached the sky, I mean high level, he really enjoyed it. So welcome Toastmaster Deepak. Toastmaster Deepak, life is simple, don't overthink. Life is simple, don't overthink. Toastmaster Deepak.
Thank you. Okay, good evening, all fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and Toastmaster of the day, Dharmesh. Thank you for opportunity. Actually, my heart is beating so fast. Okay. And how many of you remember the last time when your heart was beating so fast? Every time. That's my. Okay. Well, I remember the last time when my heart was beating so fast, and that was a day when Libby called me to ask, can I book your speech slot? I said yes, and after that my heart was beating at like 120 kmph. Jokes apart, after that I started to think about the topics to speak about. Like finalizing a topic is a very big task, I believe, and I thought, shall I speak about financial topics? But I don't know actually. Then I thought, okay, I'm from technology background. Then I'll start with ChatGPT, the very trending one. No, let's start with history. But I thought, what if you guys get bored? Then finally, I decided to abort the mission and call Libby, I'm not coming. but today's theme, get out of your comfort zone, was really like impelled me to resume the mission, and I did. Why I asked one of the friend, like after thinking lot many topics, why could I finalize one? Why could I able to finalize one topic? He said like, bro, you are overthinking. What overthinking? What is that? Then I googled out, what is overthinking? Google gave me a very simple answer. Overthinking is a state of your mind where you keep your worrying same thing repeatedly with zero productivity. Okay, I realized, okay, this is something related to me only. And then thinking is actually good. Usually my dad used to say like, please think like before whatever do anything. Okay, so that is my like childhood habit to think. But I don't know when it comes to the overthinking. And overthinking is actually an unhealthy habit which like typically create a stress on your mind by focusing on negative thoughts. There are two types of overthinker. First is ruminating about the past. I hope you have watched Devdas. Not, then I'll find. Okay, so in this category, people will always think of their mistakes, and it can be anything. The very smaller mistake also they'll think, and finally they eat and then sleep, and again they'll start this cycle again next day. Let me share my one experience. Yesterday, I want to wear one of my t-shirts, my favorite t-shirt actually, and it didn't fit me. I saw to the mirror, keeping my hand on my belly. I thought I'm overweight. Then I realized why I'm not going to the gym, of which I took annual subscription in January under my New Year resolution scheme. Oh my God. I waste my money. Why did I waste money? Why I'm not following the diet? Why I had gulab jamun and pani puri in Vidya's party? Why? There is no relation at all, but still I ate. Oh my God. And after this, again in the evening, in dinner, my mom prepared rasmalai. I have it and I went to the sleep. Second type is catastrophizing, basically, which means that you are worrying about the future, like worst situation of future events at the expense of your current time, which you should enjoy. One fine day, I was in my office, Morning Sarvashi, on 9th floor cafeteria, and I was having my coffee, and I saw one beautiful girl. I thought, like, shall I ask her for coffee? Then I realized, no, she's way out of my class. Okay, she's like, here, I'm here. Oh, but what if she says no? What if she insults me? What if she complains to the HR? Oh, and what if I get fired from my company? I thought, I concluded not to ask her. So in those two experiences, what I learned, the regretting the past events, which will not help you to build tomorrow. You should learn from the mistake and move ahead. And sometimes if you like, some things in the life are not as complicated as we think. In the second case, like what I need to do was just to go there, say hi, and start conversation. Might be she would have interested in me. There might be a chance, or even though she is not interested in me, I would have done my part, right? Because now I'm regretting why I didn't ask them. And yeah, and that's why I realized I'm killing my present time simply doing overthinking. So I thought to get rid of this. Whenever you're blank in a life, always, or you don't have any answer of any question, be it any technology, any field, there are now two things. First is Google and ChatGPT. So I googled out what is the way of overcoming the overthinking. Google said me simple, don't think only. But why? Then I realized, no, this is not going to work. So I started some music therapies, which ultimately helped me to keep my mind very calm, and it's like it also helped me to build my good sleeping pattern. So I started to resume the gym, which I was like wasting from 6 months. Then also I started, like, I keep myself very busy with different activities. I joined one swimming club. Apart from that, I believe the power of relaxation is very big. And as per me, the most relaxing forces are healthy sleep, good music, and laughter. If you all guys are in any point of time in your life, you are facing with overcoming or anxiety, please do not overlook or ignore it. Challenge it. Just take a leap of faith and do it. Even if you fail, I'm sure your heart will be in the right place. That's it for the day. Thank you so much.
We move on to our next evaluator. I generally don't understand dumb shares. Okay, fine. I will give 1 minute time for everyone to write the feedback about the speeches that they would listen. Okay, we'll start. So I'll talk about this next evaluator. He joined Toastmasters, and generally at that point of time, it was online meetings. And he was afraid of speaking or in front of camera. So normally he used to keep his camera off. And also when the table topic started, he used to leave the meeting in the beginning. This is what I have been given. But later on, he went out of his comfort zone and gave his first topic, a table topic, to challenge himself. And after that, I think he has done a wonderful job in table topics and in Toastmasters overall. So let me welcome Toastmaster Saish.
My prepared speaker here, Toastmaster Vinay, he is attempting level 1 project 2 from the pathway presentation mastery. And the purpose of his speech is to give a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply it in the next speech. Thank you. Over to you. Timers, please note the timing details are 5 to 7.
I will introduce the next speaker. But before that, I would like to know if Toastmaster winner, is he related to somebody in our Toastmasters? Okay, I get it. So when I asked him about what he wants to do and what he did out of his comfort zone, he says he got married, and that was his out of comfort zone. When asked whether he regrets doing it or not, he says that he doesn't regret and he is happy with this. And that is what he's supposed to say because he wants to stay alive. For those who don't know, that is Toastmaster Rashmi, I suppose, who is your wife. So I hope. I didn't know that, but definitely reading this, I thought that. So I welcome Toastmaster Vinay. Toastmaster Vinay, Mumbai to Pune, Toastmaster Vinay.
Thank you. So when he asked me, are you happy about it? I said yes. And in brackets, I had mentioned because I want to stay alive. That was not to be announced over here. That was only for your consumption. That was not to be announced. But fortunately, my wife is not in today. So I'll still stay alive. Okay. So a couple of years back, I took a transfer from my current job to the same office in Pune. And then was the days when we were working from home. We did not have to go to office. It was a wonderful days when in those days. But then HR had a eureka moment. They decided, let's make Rangoli again. But for that, we need people in office. So what they did is they said, we will get back to office now. But the finance department very smartly said, working from office is not a good idea because it is very expensive. So they decided to come midway. They decided we will have a hybrid model where half of the days you're in office, half of the days you will be working from home. And that's where last year onwards, I had to go to Pune every alternate week. Now, this is where the story gets interesting. I rented a place there. Now, I need to know how to travel up and down every week from Mumbai to Pune. My friend suggested try BlaBla. Now, anyone who knows what is a BlaBla app? It's a carpooling app where you can send a request to someone, or you can accept requests. If you're driving your own car, you can accept requests. There is a profile. What do you do in life? And what are you interested, the kind of music you want to listen to, and so on. And accordingly, you can accept a request for pulling the cab. This is 3 hours of uninterrupted interaction with strangers in a summary. Okay, apart from the carpooling thing, you're in a car for 3 hours. There's nothing. You talk to each other, introduce yourself, and things about your life. So I had a lot of interesting conversations in the last 1 year in throughout this BlaBla journey, Mumbai, Pune. And I will talk about a few of them, if not all. And I will tell you a curation of a few conversations. So the first conversation I'll talk about is Pooja. She is working as a recruiter. She hates her job. She hates her boss. She's just not interested. She's just going there. And she loves talking. Okay. She loves talking so much that if I have to give you an example, imagine Meenakshi, her love for talking. Cut that into half. That's how much she loves talking. Now she hates her boss, and she continuously spoke about why she hates her boss. Every Friday, by the time she has to log off, this boss will come up with something and say, okay, this is something additional that you have to do. By the time I reached Pune, I started hating him as well. So, but I asked her, what are you interested in? If it's not this, what do you want to do? So she told me that she's a social media influencer. She wants to pursue that career. She wants to make money. She has some 40,000 followers. And for Toastmaster Deepak, I will send you the link for her ID because she's single. and she has some 40,000 followers. So it's a good thing, and that's what she wants to. And then she spoke about how she's putting effort to make content, creating content, and make money out of the Instagram social media experience that she had. So I was very impressed. And that gave me a learning that where there is a will, there is a way. She is finding a way to move out of her job which she's not happy about and do something interesting. I will move to the second story. This is a guy called Aziz. Now he is an engineer by qualification, worked in Capgemini for 5 years, and then he quit his job and became a photographer because that's what he wanted to do. So I'll describe him. He is wearing a sleeveless jersey. He had long hair, a typical art kind of a guy. He had a bag which is called as a jhola, and he was a photographer. Then while conversing, he told me that yes, I was an engineer, and then I left my job. I went to Mysore. There's a photography course, 1-year course which you can do in Mysore. He came back, and now he is pursuing his career as a photographer. I asked him, "Are you happy with how your life did shape up?" He said, "Not really, because I wanted to be a travel photographer, but that travel photographer doesn't give him any money, and that's why he's doing product photography. So he's clicking pictures of mugs and Amazon products and Flipkart products." And then he told me that maybe it was a wrong decision. I could have supported my passion of travel photography by working in Capgemini and continued doing the same thing. The second learning which I had was maybe sometimes you don't end up doing what you like and you have to take a U-turn. The third story is a doctor that I met. And the moment he said he's a doctor, then I was like, wow, he's a doctor. And I told him that as a kid, every kid wants to be a doctor. They do a fake stethoscopes and checks his friends and says, okay, this is the medicine that you want to eat. Then I assumed he is happy. I assumed he's very happy with the kind of job he's doing. Then he said, not really, I don't. Then I said, why? I mean, it's so cool. You are being a doctor, you have patients coming in, you check them and let them know. Then he said, I'm a surgeon and specializing in piles and fissures, not the kind of surgery that you would like to do. Like, okay, that makes sense. Then the third lesson that I learned is not to have prejudice. Maybe someone is not happy. We in the outside, we think that someone is happy with the job that person is doing. Maybe the person is not. Now, all this boils down to the fourth and the last story that I will talk about. I met Mr. Nair in this journey. He is a retired Navy officer. His son is staying in Pune. He's staying in Mumbai, and he's got a grandkid who is a teenager. So he's a person who saw 3 generations. Okay, he's seen 3 generations, and that is a lot of experience. That is a lot of content that I could discuss him. So I asked him, what is it that one thing that you see is missing or reducing in every generation, and that has to change? And he said, gratitude. This is something which is reducing generation by generation, and he feels that has to change with time as soon as possible. And he gave me one example, a good food for thought that I will leave you guys with. Imagine you can write a letter to yourself, 10 years younger self. What would you thank yourself for? Will you thank yourself for quitting cigarettes that you used to smoke a lot? Will you thank yourself for not smoking the cigarette which your friend had recommended you? Will you thank yourself for taking commerce and not science because of family pressure? Or you will thank yourself for the breaking up with that toxic boyfriend, girlfriend that you had in those days? Right? Thank you.
I will continue with my China story. I had got my food along with me from India to China. I had thepla, khakra, dhokla, and all that stuff. I know you must be liking this Gujarati stuff. So what happened is I had nothing to eat. So I started eating so much, this stuff, that within 3 days, all the food that I brought from India got completed. And I had 12 more days to survive. And my company was asking me to extend my trip by 2 more weeks. I was really frustrated and did not know what to do, what to eat. My friend suggested that we should go to eat pizza. So we went to a pizza corner. At the pizza corner, the waitress came to us and said, "Ni hao." I thought that she was greeting me. So I greeted her back, "Ni hao." Yeah, this is me. There was a big question mark on my face. I did not understand what she was saying. I told her I want pizza with no fish, no meat, no veg. Now she had a big question mark on her face. Yeah, this is me. No fish, no meat. Yeah, this is me. No fish, no meat. This went on for some time. And she was getting agitated and I was getting frustrated as I was not getting the food to eat, which is very easy to get in India. Then suddenly it strikes me. I had Google Translate app on my mobile. I immediately opened my mobile, typed my requirements in English, and it got translated into Chinese. I showed it to her. She got me the right pizza. That day, I had pizza. And that day I ate pizza as if I had never had food in my entire life. There were some other struggles also in the journey to China, but slowly I was able to tackle them somehow. So now we'll come to the conclusion later on. But before that, let me continue with our speeches. Let me talk about this evaluator. She was fond of adventure initially, but now fearful of adventurous activities. And as she has developed claustrophobia, that is fear of enclosed spaces. She had gone to a trip to Malaysia, and there she did sea walking. And she had to wear this helmet, which was very weird, but it was needed to carry oxygen. So for some time she found it okay, but later on, she showed the thumbs down to the other person and she had to be pulled out. So I guess, as I told you, that there is definitely a panic zone, and in this zone, if you are there is a lot of struggles and a lot of stress, and you can always move out from that zone. So I welcome Toastmaster Vidya, who according to Toastmaster Ron is equivalent to 5 people.
Sure. Hello everyone. I'm going to evaluate Toastmaster Kalyan Kumar's speech. Speaker Kalyan Kumar is giving his first speech from level 1, project 4. The speech is from Pathway Presentation Mastery. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Please note the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Kalyan Kumar.
Mention about the next speaker. We tried snorkeling in Bali, and it was an amazing experience. But it was difficult for him out of his comfort zone because he did not know swimming. And later on, he said that he loved to do it. Snorkeling, I thought you did snorkeling, right? I got confused. Or you did paragliding, or you did paragliding? I'm just getting confused. Maybe I'll request Toastmaster Kalyan Kumar. To confuse you further. Thank you. Toastmaster Kalyan Kumar, conclusion, Toastmaster Kalyan.
How many of you guys thought today whether heck and I have to come to regular meeting or Dandi Madhuba? Honest answer. Whether you'll come to this club meeting or thank you. So my topic is all about this kind of small confusion in our life. Yes or no? Confusion. On a monsoon day, getting on the wet road, it's full of flood. Whether in Mumbai, we need to walk in the middle of the road or in the footpath. It's always a confusion for us. Getting into the station with the flickering indicator, whether it's Belapur or Badlapur, we have a confusion. I got out of the Vashi station. Whether I take a bus or take an auto, it's again a confusion. The confusion prevails everywhere. I got into the Agnel. I don't know. There is a confusion whether I get into the Polytechnic building or a management building. That's always a confusion for all of us. When it comes to the TTM, what number should I take? It's again a confusion. The confusion, it's there everywhere. It's a confusion. After the speech, whether you are going to vote me or not, that's going to confusion. The confusion is life is full of confusion. Join with me. Life is full of confusion. Life is full of confusion. A class from your side. Life is full of confusion. Life is full of confusion. Confusion. Life is full of confusion. But she, Mataji, Vidya Mataji once clearly said, life is not always party. It comes with confusion, but you need to have a lot of dedication to come out of this confusion. Confusion is mother of all invention. When Newton got confused why the apple fell on the ground, we have gravity 9.81, which becomes the basis of all our mathematical calculations today. That's how Chandrayaan 3 also went to the space. In my life, I have my own confusion after finishing my bachelor's degree, whether to pursue the master's and take up a lecture job. That's what my family want me to do. I come from a teacher's family. Then I had a choice to shift to Mumbai. I took the second choice, and then now I am in front of you to try and see that I'm delivering this. But this kind of confusion keep on pushing you to your limits, out of your comfort zone, and try and take a right decision. Whether you have taken the decision right or not, the time will tell. But work with very precise and my approach, and try and see the learning from others on your confusion stage. What brings the perfection in your life? That's how you are taking the next decisions. My second and major confusion which happened in my life is to shifting out of India I got a job in US, whether to shift out of India, move there, because my entire family is here. And family was compelling me, okay, you can shift over there and then we will try and see that family is here. But I found that my kids' education and the other supporting system of my parents will get disturbed. Even though the salary is good, position is good, I was in the state of confusion for almost 2 months to decide what makes sense, how we can arrive at a right point so that it is comfortable for me and my family for future things. So I decided to stay back here. When this kind of confusion happens to you people, don't feel let down of yourself. Try and bring clarity. In my view, confusion is directly translates to a progressive state which it is coming to bring in your table. Otherwise, it is a state of inertia for all of us. Getting out of your comfort zone and try and see that. That's where your confusion starts. Till the time you are in confusion, you are not confused. You are always happy. The time you are confused, that means something it is getting changed. You are trying to see something good, and then there is a progress which is happening in your life. Try and take it in a very positive manner, and that will definitely result you in a good part of your life. Thank you all for this opportunity, and wish you all always be confused. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll speak about our next evaluator. She is afraid of heights, but to come out of her comfort zone, she did skydiving. And she said that she loved it so much that she wants to become certified in it, and she wants to do it alone. Any guesses who she is? Toastmaster Meenakshi. Welcome, Toastmaster.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My target speaker is Toastmaster Sunny. He is attempting the project Understanding Emotional Intelligence. The purpose of this project is for him to cultivate an understanding of emotions and how emotions impact his relationships. It is also designed for him to identify how emotions impact his emotional state. So for this project, he had to maintain a diary, a journal of his emotions, and he's going to come and talk to us about that experience. All the best. Timer 5 to 7 minutes.
I'll mention about our speaker. He enjoys putting himself out of his comfort zone and challenging himself on a regular basis. And while hanging out with his friends, he stays awake after 9 p.m., which is out of his comfort zone because he normally sleeps at 9 p.m. So I guess you are following a Akshay Kumar's routine who sleeps early and gets up early. So welcome Toastmaster Sunny. Toastmaster Sunny, motivational strategies, Toastmaster Sunny.
Thank you. I think that's what happens when you follow with the speaker and clap. I'm confused. And I'm worried somewhere that's going to be my impact as well. Because the title of my speech is The Voice and Motivational Strategies is the Pathway. And somewhere I'm also confused. So that is the policy when you are the sixth speaker and following 5 speeches. Now, coming back to my speech, I joined Toastmasters around 4 years back. And one of the main reasons I joined to be a part of a group of like-minded people. And over the last 2 weeks, I've been maintaining a journal. I've been part of my project very diligently. But journal writing is not something I recently started. It's something I have been doing for around, I would say, last 10 years, but on a non-recurring basis, because that is something I've followed in my life. Whatever is good thing, we sometimes tend to fall over it again and again, like sleeping on time, maybe waking up early. There are going to be time in our life when we are not able to stick to it. But the moment we realize, we have 2 things to do about it. Either we can just regret about it, or we can again get on the path and say, okay, maybe we took a gap, we took a break. Now let me get back on that. And this particular project allowed me to do that. And while I was maintaining this journal, something I realized about my emotions. Around 3 months back, I joined a new organization, and I joined this organization after a break of couple of months due to personal reasons. And while working with this organization, I realized that somewhere I was struggling with my work. I was facing challenge. I was not able to keep up. And sometimes I was getting annoyed and irritated as well. And sometimes when I'm with my friends and at social occasions as well. And I try to find out what is the reason for that. Why am I easily getting annoyed and irritated? And like one of the speakers mentioned, and it's going to happen again and again when you are the sixth speaker, because most of the points have already been covered when the topic is out of comfort zone. And as you have heard, the topic has varied from anxiousness, stress, and different challenges and emotions in life. And I was wondering whether all the people had similar projects of observing their emotions, or it was just me. So like I mentioned, as I was maintaining the journal, I started looking at this. Why I'm feeling in this particular manner, why I'm getting annoyed, and why certain conversations or certain contexts triggering, and what is it triggering within me. And I spent more and more time. I started to project these things on people with whom I interacted, and found it difficult to find out why this particular thing was getting within me. That's something in the internal front I was facing. As a professional front as well, I was facing challenge because somewhere I caught hold of myself that rather than focusing on the work, I was just focusing on getting my day through. I was not trying to get my peak performance out, but rather than looking at like when it will become probably 6 p.m. and so that I can leave. So rather than excelling at the work, the objective became about passing the time. And as they see where your attention is, that is what you get. Now coming back to the journaling, I started journaling and started writing down things simply because I didn't know how I want to go about it or what I want to accomplish. And whatever came to my mind, various emotions, various things that happened in my day, just wrote it down in the journal. The people I met, the kind of conversations I was having. And then I realized that I was exposing myself to a lot of people, lot of conversations. And some of these conversations weren't empowering. And that's when I realized that power of solitude. Now, how many people have heard about solitude? Can I see a raise of hand? Solitude. Okay. So there is a samurai warrior called Miyamoto Musashi. So he has written in great detail about the power of solitude. And sometimes when we say solitude, we take it similar to as antisocial or being introvert. Those are two different things. Solitude means you be by yourself and you stay with yourself to find that inner meaning, inner purpose of life, which is also called as disease of meaning, because you are trying to explore what it is that you want to do in life. Whereas being antisocial or somewhere the extreme side of introvert means you don't want to put yourself in social situations. Both are two different things and unfortunately clubbed together by certain people. Now coming back to my professional challenge. One of the reasons which I finally found out after much deliberation and pondering was that around a decade back, when I had initially joined my career, one of my close friends who was working with me and we used to hang out a lot. Unfortunately, he was let go by the organization and he was put on a notice period. And when he was told that, we always used to interact. And before he was put also, he used to tell me that he was worried that he will be put on a notice period. And during that time, always used to read Bhagavad Gita on his screen. And that fear of his somewhere clinged upon me. And I think over the years, it had been always there within me. And somewhere even I felt that fear. Okay, if I do not perform well, maybe even I would be let go. And that fear was somewhere in my subconscious and I didn't realize. And when I again started working, that fear crept out. And what helped me in the form of journaling was that to look at things with a different perspective, to bite the bullet and just persevere. Because life is all about perspective. Sometimes we think that happiness or sadness is how people treat us, is how the experience happen around us. But the same experience or the same conversation can happen to two different people and both can have different takeaways. The reason is how we interpret the thing. And that's what this particular journaling helped me to do. Initially, when I joined Toastmasters, it was about public speaking. It was how I can communicate to the people, to the public, maybe to inspire them. And as time passed over the 4 years, I realized that each of us are on our own journey. Each of us have our own hills, our own mountain, our own difficulties to overcome. And what we can do is be patient with ourselves. If I have to draw the analogy, it will be with a seashore, where many different things like the waves will keep on coming, maybe for a couple of instances in our life, but it will again go away. Let's not bring us down because of these challenges. Always be observant of that inner voice. What is it telling to us? And it is in our choice to interpret in a positive or negative way. The choice is always ours. Thank you.
I would like the timer to share the speech timings of all the speakers.
Speaker 2, 5. Speaker 3, 6 minutes, 41 seconds. Speaker 4, 6 minutes, 48 seconds. Speaker
Speaker 5 minutes. Speaker 6, 7 minutes, 55 seconds. Qualifying first, second, third, fourth, and fifth speakers for the vote.
Okay, thank you. So I guess first Sunesh is disqualified. And now we will have a break. The snacks are outside, so we can have a break and also have some networking session. I request you to come back in 10 minutes so that we can start our evaluation session.
Part you can look into it, sound quality. That's it, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Good job. Sakshi will come at the end. Not now. He will come at the end. Right? Okay. So next evaluator for the speech given by Toastmaster Mahima is Toastmaster Amruta. Can we please welcome her with a round of applause?
Keep it going, keep it going.
Once again, good evening, everyone, and my target speaker, Toastmaster Mahima. Congratulations, Toastmaster Mahima, for delivering your speech successfully. You start your speech with quotes, then greet the audience, and then content of your speech. So, then you close your speech with again quotes. So very well organized, very well articulated, and you make the speech objective and you serve the speech purpose also. Bang on for that. Next is you ask the question and you also share your personal story to increase the audience engagement. That was also a plus point. Apart from this, there is always a scope of improvement. So I have a few recommendations for you. First is you have a compact body language like this, and the eye contact, you were not maintaining eye contact throughout your speech. So just you have to work on that. Second is you stop in between your speech. So that shows the preparation was not up to the mark. It will be overcome by doing a practice and just come on the stage more often. Now conclude my evaluation here. Excellent speech with a powerful message. Just work on the recommendation and you will talk it. All the very best for upcoming speakers. Thank you so much.
Yeah, a round of applause for her, please. Let's make a deal. When I call the name, somebody gets up until they reach the stage, let's applaud. And when he's going off, till they sit down, let's applaud. Shall we do that? Yes? No? Who said no? No applause for that person. Okay, so the next evaluator for the speech by Toastmaster Deepak is Toastmaster Ruchi. Please welcome her with applause.
Good afternoon, dear Toastmasters and guests. Congratulations to Toastmaster Deepak for delivering such a nice and entertaining speech. The core message of the speech was overthinking, which is very, very serious topic. Even I overthink a lot, but he delivered this speech, the core objective of the speech in a very light, humorous way. And when you deliver such a serious topic in a light, humorous way, then actually connects with the audience. And he emphasized on the key message by giving personal examples. For example, when he said that he enrolled for the gym, but he could not join for several years. And also he told that, gave an example that he wanted to talk to a pretty girl, but could not do because of overthinking. So when we add personal examples, then it brings more credibility to the speech, and it's on a better audience connection. So well done for that. And he not only focused on the problem, but also the solution, how to avoid overthinking by listening to music and all. So overall, yes, he met the objectives of the speech, and it was the speech objective was actually to have a well-defined purpose, and his well-defined purpose was to stop overthinking, and the audience got that message out of it. And I have few recommendations. Yes, the speech could have been more better if he could ask more questions with the audience. For example, he could ask the audience the questions like, when was the last time you wanted to do something but could not do because of overthinking? So that could engage audience in a better way and could draw the audience response. And end of the speech could have been a little more better if you could have added something like call for action to the audience. Okay, like whenever you overthink, do certain things and all to avoid overthinking. Sometimes I noticed that he was clenching the fist and putting hands in the pocket, which could be avoided. And there was a lot of stage movement. Yes, there should be stage movement. They should be very wise enough, but we should not just move like this on the stage. So these are small little things which can be avoided. But overall, it was a very nice, humorous speech, and the audience were rolling with laughter. To summarize, yes, he met the objectives of the speech, and he emphasized the speech by giving personal examples. Only thing is, yes, he could have a better impact by asking more questions, and he could have avoided clenching his fist and avoid a little stage movement. So that's all. Thank you very much.
Remember our team. Next to evaluate the speech by Toastmaster Vinay, and I invite on stage Toastmaster Saish.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, and my target speaker, Toastmaster Vinay. Mumbai to Pune. What an amazing speech. Who would have thought to give a speech on a topic where you are traveling with a fellow passenger who you don't even know, and you try to create a story out of it. You had us imagine what a social media influencer looks like, what a photographer who has taken a U-turn from engineering, what a doctor looks like, and same with the naval officer. I also like you adding that impromptu part in between the social media influencer and a fellow Toastmaster, from 40,000 followers to 40. Coming to the speech, I would also like to say that you were clear on what you had to present. Clarity was there. Same with the structure of the speech. You presented why you wanted to give this speech, as in the intro. And the body was also very well mentioned, as in the learnings that you had. Same with the conclusion. Similarly, with the humor part between each person that you met while on your journey, that was also very well mentioned. And same with the learnings that you had with each different person that you met. I could see your comfort level while giving the speech, which was great. Same with the eye contact and the gestures that you had. But coming on to the recommendations, you had many learnings, but in between the humor and the learning, it became quite distractive. What should I focus on? Because in some cases, you were just jumping from one learning to another, and it did not create a connection between what you had learned and same with the conclusion. This could have been avoided if you could have mentioned less learnings, as in just 2 learnings, or maybe you could have avoided excessive information that was in the start or during the body part, or you could have slowed down while you were explaining the learnings, because the total speed of the number of words you were using was constant, but while giving the learnings, you could have slowed down so that the audience knows what you want to highlight in your speech. Similarly with the jumpings between the learnings, so that could have been avoided. For your next speech, I would request you to repeat all the learnings and at the end, or else conclude more effectively. That is, you can increase your conclusion because you had used only 6 minutes 40 seconds. You had some more time, which you could have used to explain the conclusion on what exactly the entire speech, as in the intro and the body, was for. Overall, a great speech. Structure was good. So was the humor. It was on point. The learnings were also great. I wish you all the best, and I hope you apply the feedback in your next speech. Thank you.
So the next speech by Toastmaster Kalyan Kumar. Invite Toastmaster Vidya on stage. With a round of applause.
What is this? Life is full of confusion. Life is full of confusion. Whether to come to the meeting or not, very relatable. Badlapur, Belapur, whether to walk on road or pathway, whether to eat samosa or pani puri. So many examples. Thank you for bringing in such a relatable topic and in such a beautiful way. We started with a question and a relatable question that we all face before coming to the meeting. And it was not just one example, example after example, example after example, again, very relatable. So you set the tone of your speech. It was great opening. After the example, the series of examples, you then explain why confusion is important. Yes, we are confused, but this confusion leads to innovation. And again, you related with a very popular example that we all know. So again, it was, yes, confusion is there, but we need it. To add on, to create more impact, and for us as audience to understand, you had your own story. You said 2 stories about how you were confused of which kind of job to take. And then when you got an opportunity, what to do for you and your family, whether to take it or not. After every example, you had something to say about confusion. Yes, confusion is there, but what we can do. So after every example, you had something to say about confusion and give knowledge to the audience. At the end, you had some pointers related to confusion. Delivery wise, it was amazing. You had lot of energy, gestures were there. That life is full of confusion that brought audience together, and they were with your speech. Now, few recommendations. I got confused when the speech ended. Why? It's over so soon. I was looking for more, but I felt it was over so soon. You had so many things to add on. Like you very well explained with the examples, with your own examples. But with your own example, you could have said what you did. You talked about confusion, but how do you dealt with that confusion? What you did. So that could have helped the audience. You could have specified that. After all this, you could have pointers of like what to do, what is confusion, and what we can do if we are faced with confusion. So at the end, it was abrupt. You said, but I felt after the speech, I was confused more. So you have given something confusion that is part of this, and we have to deal it. But how can we deal? That giveaway message was missing. The conclusion was missing. So the content was great, but that conclusion was missing. In terms of delivery, there were some areas where you were again low. You have improved a lot, but you were low at some areas. To conclude, great speech with lot of examples and lot of energy, but you can add up content by giving that conclusion, give away what we can do with pointers. Thank you so much.
Now to evaluate the speech by Toastmaster Tanish,
We have our club president, Toastmaster Meenakshi. Welcome with a round of applause, please.
The voice is the connection to the soul. Toastmaster Sanish, you did exactly that. You connected us with the soul. And how did you do that? Through humor. There were sprinkles of humor in your speech. For example, 6 p.m. I sat in the office waiting for it to be 6 p.m. I mean, who has not done that, right? That's how you connected with us. That was the very first thing, because we could connect with your speech. That was one very strong point of your speech. It is what is the objective of this particular project was to identify how others' emotions impact your emotional state. And that you did spot on when you brought in your friend, that friend who got laid off, and his anxiety, his frustration, his negativity clung on to your emotions. And you described to us exactly how you felt in the office because of that particular friend of yours. How to make a good speech great is by having a very strong key takeaway message. And today you had very strong takeaway message. That is, we all go through the same thing, but it is up to us, our perspective of how do we interpret that particular incident that has happened. And that's very well connected with the objective of using emotional intelligence, because each person's idea of perceiving emotions is different. I do have some recommendations for you, and I'm going to bite the bullet by giving you a lot of recommendations, because I think you're a seasoned Toastmaster, so you can take it. The first is in terms of content. Somewhere, as I said, we were connected to your story, but there were some tidbits which felt incomplete, which felt missing. For example, you forgot to use names. Like you said, a couple of months ago, I joined an organization. Where, what, at least some name would have helped us to connect better. You told us about that friend who got laid. Giving name of a friend, even if it's a fake name, it will help us to connect with that person. Then coming on to the next point, that is, it is often said that you start speaking to us even before you get onto the stage. And how do you do that? Is through the title of your speech. The voice. You mentioned that you have an inner voice, that you need to listen to that inner voice. But that came to the very end, like almost after 7.5 minutes, you spoke. And throughout it felt very repeated n number of times in your speech. The next recommendation that I have is in terms of delivery. You said that I was very irritated and annoyed when I joined my organization. But you could have showed that irritation and annoyedness in your voice. You could have reduced your voice, modified your voice. In a nutshell, you missed it, but I would recommend you to use your title better, or change the title based on the speech, and connect more in terms of giving names and focus on vocal variety. Thank you.
So, brilliant job by all the evaluators. Excuse me. So before I call Sakshi, I want to just quickly ask, what does it take to become a good evaluator? Just any ideas? What makes a good evaluator? Just shout it out. Constructive feedback. What else? Listening skills. Yes, listening skills. Both of you are right. What else? Attention to detail. You have to be attention to detail. What else? Very good. You have to be fair. You have to give credible feedback, and also you have to give what went wrong also. That also is important. So these are all the things that it takes to make a good evaluator here. But the challenge in Toastmaster is not only do you have to give a good evaluation, but you have to do it in 2 or 3 minutes. So today we have something a little different. We have Sakshi evaluating an evaluator, which is part of a project in Pathways. So please help me welcome Sakshi. She is going to evaluate the evaluation by Toastmaster Raji. All the best.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. So today I will be evaluating Toastmaster Rajiv on his evaluation.
So Toastmaster Ragib, your evaluation was great, and you were giving an evaluation for an icebreaker, and that is your starting point. So when it comes to evaluation, just like our DTM Ron said, that we have a CRC method, which is a sandwich method, where we mention what are the things that we did well, then we mention what were the suggestions or recommendations, and at the last we have a summary. So you mentioned all the recommendations. So you mentioned all the pointers that your target speaker did well. So you gave an attention to detail. You mentioned each and every point. And after that, you also mentioned one of the recommendations you had, but that was a point of improvement. However, I feel that the summary was missing. So what you have done is you could have given or mentioned at least three main key recommendations that you want the speaker to take away with them. So that is the best part for the key speaker, and instead of because they might not remember all the points that you might have mentioned, so they might know what are the main three things that they must take away from the speech. And while you mentioned the last, that was the improvement, the point of improvement, you could have given an example of it. So maybe that could have added some more value to the speaker. And last but not the least, you can also leave the speaker with a smile and warm, positive note. So you can always mention that we look forward to your next speech. So that would give them more motivation to come back on the stage and put the stage on fire. So yeah, your evaluation was an excellent representation of how a clear and calm, composed evaluator must be giving their evaluation. So yeah, looking forward to more evaluations from your end. Thank you, and over to you.
So as you listen to more evaluations and you do more evaluations in Toastmasters, you will suddenly realize that when you are speaking to people outside Toastmasters, when you're giving feedback, your entire demeanor, entire way you speak will change. So this is a very important skill we have to develop. And for those who are thinking, okay, I didn't get a chance to evaluate today, or I won't get a chance to evaluate, we give feedback slips. That's a mini evaluation you can do for the speaker and give your feedback. Don't worry about whether it's right or wrong, just what you feel, give the feedback to the speaker. So in every meeting, please take the opportunity to give feedback. It's the kind of mini evaluation you can practice until you're called on stage to actually give a proper evaluation. Right. So the challenge for the evaluators is to give the evaluation in 2 to 3 minutes. So I like the timer to give the report of how the evaluators did in terms of time. Yes. Don't forget.
Evaluator 1 took 1 minute 30.
Ragib. 1 minute.
30 seconds. Evaluator 2 took 1 minute 30
Amruta?
seconds.
Sorry.
1 minute 30 seconds. Evaluator 3 took 3 minutes. Evaluator 4 took 3 minutes 16 seconds.
Thank you. Sorry, can you repeat?
3 minutes 16 seconds.
16 seconds. Okay.
Evaluator 5, Vidya, took 3 minutes 20 seconds. Evaluator 6, Meenakshi, took 3 minutes 17 seconds. Evaluator 7, Sakshi, took 2 minutes 5 seconds. Qualifying the
5 seconds. All are qualified as well. Can we have a round of applause for the timer today? That's a very important role that she has to do. Now we've got, sorry, okay. So now we have 2 more role players here who have been working behind the scenes for us very hard to evaluate this meeting. So I'd like to call on today's our counter, Toastmaster Vaseem.
By taking this job, I have bite the bullet. And the reason is that there's so much of good speeches where can I take a good point from them. But what I was doing, my job is to point a mistake on them. Such irony, but whatever it is it. So starting with the speaker, The first speaker I had is Shweta. So Shweta had a 2 crutch words and 8 pauses, short pauses. Then after which Amruta. Amruta had 4 crutch words. That's it. Followed by Deepak. Deepak have 4 crutch words and 3 short pauses. And he used word something very often that you have to take. Then after which I'm coming to who was it? Vinay. Okay, Vinay, you got 3 crutch words and 8 words. And in that speech, what I have seen, you have used word assume twice. Okay, just. Then after I have Kalyan, there's nothing much to say, only 2 short pauses. Then after Saish, same 2 short pauses. Now I'm coming to the evaluator. Give nothing much to say, only you have repeat the word perfectly twice. Then after Amruta, 5 crutch words, that's it. Then after Ruchi, 8 crutch words, 3 fillers and 2 pauses. Then after Saish is not here, so Saish used 16 crutch fillers over here. That was Vidya. Vidya, nothing too much to say about 2 fillers, and in the end, Meenakshi just 2 crutch words. That's it.
Thank you so much for remembering and uploading. All our role players do a very hard job on the meeting, and it's always good to reward them with a good applause. Now the next role player is the grammarian, Professor Rohida. Can you welcome him on stage?